Welcome to this pitch on Haug Automotive. We are looking for investment into our company, and our company is very briefly a low-income automobile manufacturer where we are selling to Ethiopians, made by Ethiopians in Ethiopia itself. I want you to first close your eyes and consider this. You live in the outskirts of Los Angeles, but you work in downtown. You have no way to get there, so you have to walk. You need to walk to work. You work 8 hours. You need to walk back. You want to buy a used 2001 Toyota Camry with 150,000 miles, but it costs $16,000. Even though this is a bad deal, you would spring on it, but you can't because after living expenses, you only have $5,000 to $7,000 left to spend on gifts and eating out and insurance and any other daily expenses that you don't technically need to live, but you kind of end up spending that money. This is the life of people who live in Ethiopia. Ethiopia's cities are swelling with growth, but its infrastructure can't keep up. The average citizen has about $5,000 of discretionary income, yet most vehicles cost over $16,000 when they're used and old. This is out of reach for everybody except for the few. Public transit is insufficient. About 54% of the 700,000 daily commutes in Addis Ababa, they're all done by foot. We see a clear gap. There's a need for ultra affordable, reliable transport. And Haug Automotive is striving to meet this and meet that demand. Our vehicles are purpose-built for affordability and durability. We use straight edge designs, square bodies, in order to cut production costs. We don't have to use massive molding machines and we don't have to design molds because we can just use flat steel, buy it off the shelf, and weld it on the frame and chassis. So we're saving a ton of money doing that. We also are sharing components between our two different models, the SUV and the pickup truck, as you can see in the photograph. This causes the production cost to be lowered even further because the cost to produce a pickup truck versus an SUV is negligible. We're also selling directly to the customer from the factory. We're cutting out the middleman. We don't want to deal with the dealership markup. We're going to sell it at MSRP at our price. We choose the price, and we're hoping to sell around $12,000 to $15,000, ideally less. But it depends on how production costs go. We also have a potential for micro leasing. Currently in Ethiopia, companies are not allowed to micro lease for vehicles. However, because our products will be made by locals for locals in Ethiopia itself, we're thinking that the Ethiopian government will be much more generous towards us and will most likely allow us to lease vehicles, which will increase the ability for Ethiopians to purchase cars even further. Currently, in Ethiopia, over 25% of the people are part of unreached people groups, about 29 million people. Our factories will employ locals, creating daily touch points for gospel-centered discipleship. Vehicles will empower missionaries to reach villages that are now currently inaccessible. Hog Automotive is more than just transportation. It's a vehicle for the gospel, empowering people with economic opportunity and spiritual growth. We're going to be leading our company in a way that shows that we are like Christ. We're going to be running the company with integrity and excellence. People will look at us and they'll say, that's what Christ companies are like. And that's the goal for Hog Automotive. Great commission companies need great leaders. Our CEO will be both a proven business operator and a faithful disciple maker. We will surround him with a team of wise advisors, local cultural experts, global policy veterans, and automotive professionals who know how to launch and sustain operations in complex markets. We don't want to start this company just for the missions opportunity, although that is great. We want our company to be lasting. We want it to stick around for years to come. This company is meant to glorify Christ through all that it does, and we have to have a lasting company to do that. We need to introduce the gospel while with the company, as I said on the previous slide. But if it comes and goes just like a breath of the wind, then people are going to remember our company in a bad light. They're going to be thinking about how Christ is not truly the the true salvation. They're going to be looking at that with a negative light, and that's about the worst thing that we can do for a Great Commission company, as I said. We we need to ensure that the gospel is being presented honestly and thoroughly because we want our company to be solid, both spiritually and as a business. We're hoping that our company will be around for till kingdom come. We want, as long as cars are in demand, we want Haug Automotive to be there. We want to be spreading to all the international markets. We don't want to be stuck in just Ethiopia. We don't want to be stuck in just a mindset of business right now. We want this to be permanent. We're starting lean. We're relying on committed believers and investors who can see the value of a kingdom return rather than only financial, although we are hoping for a financial return once the company gets on its two own legs. And our break-even model focuses on cost control, local sourcing, and smart logistics. As I said, we're cutting out the middleman. Our design and manufacturing process is all scaled and designed around affordable and budget building. We don't want to produce a product that is going to be too expensive to sell, because if we are selling at $16,000 like the rest of the market, then we're going to be having a hard time getting the customers because our product is going to be so simple and bare bones that it's not going to be worth it for a person who already has that money to buy their their nice car. I mean, for example, we're planning on cutting out things like air conditioning and no electric seats, no power steering. We'll have manual windows, manual mirrors, no tire check sensors. If you can imagine a motorcycle engine in a car, that's pretty much what we're putting in our products because we want it to be as cheap as possible while still a viable product for the end user, which is why, I think it was on a previous slide, the vehicle will be top speed around 60 miles an hour. This is so that we can maximize the torque per horsepower that we're having because we're going for the smallest engine size because that's how the cars are taxed in Ethiopia. But we want to still produce a practical vehicle, which is why we're offering an SUV for transporting people and a pickup truck, which can be used in many other ways because it's so modular. They can take the bed out and replace it with water tanks, or they can put a crane in it, or they can just make it into a service bed so they can work on farm equipment remotely. We're trying to make our business as scalable as possible. As I said earlier, we don't want to be stuck in just Ethiopia. We want to be branching out to the rest of Africa. We hope to even get into the Middle East soon. And this is how we're going to spread Christ's mission here with this company. We're going to be here, as I said, for the long game. We're not trying to just be here for a little bit, a little while. We're trying to serve these underserved nations globally. We're trying to improve their economies for a long-term period. This is going to be a a big undertaking, but it's something that we can do. We believe that Haug Automotive will transform the way millions of people live, work, and worship. Your investment today can help launch a company that bridges the economic and spiritual divide, creating access, dignity, and discipleship for generations to come, hopefully till Jesus comes. Join us. Let's build something that drives change for now and eternity. Please invest what you can.